Hey everyone, I'm Charlie and I'm joined here today with Mary and Drew of Maluka-based doom pop band Dvrkworld. How are you all doing?
Good.
Really
Yeah,
good,
really
thank
good.
you. Yeah, how are you?
Pretty good. A little exhausted and it's only Monday, but fun times.
There with you.
Yeah.
Now, about a month ago, I think it's 5 weeks now, you all released your latest track of the year, which is titled Sinking Ship. Sinking Ship is about 6 minutes long and it discusses overwhelming emotions and anxiety. It reads lyrically as a plea for help and companionship, and sonically it represents a rock-fueled disassociation from current reality, and I have been absolutely loving this track. Would you all like to speak to the inspirations and influences behind Sinking Ship?
Yeah, wow. I actually feel like what you've just said is pretty spot on and better than anything we could say. I think it's really hard sometimes to find or pinpoint, I suppose, what inspires a song. I tend to think of inspiration in general as like this fleeting, it's like a fleeting moment or a feeling more so than it is any one thing that can kind of nut down into something. But yeah, it's one that struggles with mental health issues as a too. It was just part of my process, really. Songwriting has always been a part of my process. It's an outlet for a reason, I suppose, and we don't always know what it means at the time, but we're able to define meaning out of it afterwards, because in itself, when you're creating something, just making sound and just releasing anything feels good. And always thinking about living my life as though I should be kept in a basement, kind of like a weird monster creature thing that you shouldn't take out in public. And I know that like Drew loves me obviously, but like sometimes it would be, we just go out to gigs and I would just waffle because I was so hopped up on adrenaline and things like that, and that anxiety just came out on stage, and so it was kind of hard for that as well. And how skewed that gets as well when you're kind of balancing the adrenaline. So yeah, put me in the basement. I'm cramping on. Yeah.
I love that. It's such like a unique feeling to put into words, but it's also such a shared feeling amongst so many people. It's just rare to see it actually conveyed in such a creative and artful way into music. So thank you for Sinking Ship and for actually putting that feeling into words. That is so special.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much, Charlie. That's awesome.
And as a band, you're sonically described as quite a few different things, as shoegaze, psychedelic, doom pop, and alt rock. And furthermore to this like niche sonic atmosphere you find yourselves in, you're also femme-fronted in both an industry and a broader genre that is heavily male-dominated. Now, unfortunately, in this industry, those niche descriptors often mean that bands like yourself have to jump through a few more hoops to get the same like recognition and opportunity and attention in comparison to like fully male, mainstream catered counterparts and peers. With these sorts of barriers in mind, would you mind to speak about what your experience has been carving out a space for yourself and your music within the local music scene?
Great questions.
Do you want to take that one?
I think we're really lucky in Tasmania in that the music community is incredibly diverse. Mary has been a part of the community longer than I have.
Yeah. In my professional life, I'm also cultural and community worker. So I'm seeing both sides of the Lutruwita and provide opportunities for other people, other women who are very in the music scene, but also in other creative industries. It's like its own little world bubble here, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because the community here is so diverse and robust, and there are so many amazing people doing different things in music and in the other creative industries. So I think that the barrier isn't so much, well, I mean, I guess I've been playing music as a woman for like quite some time as well. So I have definitely faced a lot of comments from people at the pub being like, oh yeah, you play guitar pretty good for a girl. Like I've literally had those things said to me. And I think there came a point as I grew up and got older, like hanging out with lots of different people all making music. I suppose that building that community around myself really helped to kind of just that stage down here, I think, where it's a lot more normalized for everyone to be playing music or doing anything creative that they want, and I love that. But it was a road to get here, I suppose, which is interesting. And yeah, so in that respect, I would say that the barriers now being a musician in Tassie are more around geographical, like isolation, geographical isolation, and also just not having as many, like just not having access necessarily to creative people who can prop you up and help you like move forward in your career. And I suppose it's also a bigger picture thing around what does that look like for bands? What do they actually want? What is their definition of success? And what does the Australian music industry, for example, or even the global music industry necessarily offer for smaller bands doing little niche things down the bottom of the world, but also just not necessarily knowing the right people to be able to have access to that. Like this time last year, I was speaking with some of my creative colleagues who were kind of in the scene as well. There was like one, I think there was maybe one band from Tassie represented at Big Sound in this year. And it's like, well, we're here, but how do we let people know that we're here? Like there probably needs to be some work around that, but also the whole concept of marketing yourself as a band is also pretty rough, and creating content all the time is really rough. Like we're not necessarily interested in doing that, but also it's like one of the easiest ways to get out there. I don't know, I reckon people who do it well do it really well, and the rest of us don't quite understand it. But I just hope that whatever we do and continuing to be like a femme-fronted band, I just hope that it makes other people feel good and like they can do it. Like even just talking to someone who saw our gig at the Odeon come up to me in the crowd and just be like, I haven't seen a girl play a bass in a really long time. Like, you know, you've made me feel like I can do it. And I just had this great conversation with this person being like, you can, but you can do it. You don't even need to know anything. You just pick it up and go. And that's always been my methodology, and I've helped to support the community and how the community supported me back. So, and same for the band, I suppose. I don't really know where we sit in the scheme of the particular genre, I suppose, that we're in at the moment. We're still so new and emerging and figuring out what we're doing. So hopefully we can do something, because it would just be nice to play more shows and meet great people and have fun.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's just a creative outlet for us, and just ensuring that
we don't die in a big hole of our feelings and emotions that we haven't dealt with.
Or just, you know, getting sucked into doing the soul crushing stuff of, you know, content and marketing and all that kind of stuff. Actually just people who sustain our well-being by having a creative outlet.
I love that. That is such an interesting answer, because like up here where I'm based in Meanjin, we do have like quite a big music scene, but then you travel down to a place like Nam and the culture and music scene is so different. I even feel sometimes like we're restricted for opportunities and for even like looking to other people for inspiration in the local community. But then
Yeah.
listening to how you're speaking of where you're based, it's a whole different ballpark, probably completely different to any other in Australia. That is so special. Thank you so much for sharing that answer. That was a very big question as well, and you guys handled that amazingly, so thank you. You mentioned about connecting with members of the audience and inspiring people, and as the new year very quickly approaches, I'd love to ask if you have any plans, goals, and dreams for Dvrkworld into 2025.
Yeah.
So many.
Again,
So many.
again, like our ultimate goal is to just have fun and use music as a tool to express ourselves and sustain our well-being. But breaking that down, we
want to write an album.
Yeah, we want to write an album.
We've almost got an album worth of songs, and we are going to apply for grants to be able to record those things. That's pretty much the only way you can afford to do music in Tassie, because there aren't enough places to generate one venue in Launceston where we're based that can play out. That's it. So it's not really like we can you to support grants. Hopefully get an album together that we're hopefully going to record in Paradise, which is a place that exists, Lutruwita, which is pretty funny. And we also are going to be releasing our EP, yeah?
Yeah, yes. We have an EP
I know what's happening.
Coming out. We don't have a date yet,
We don't have a date.
Early next year. We're currently working with a friend of ours who has an independent record label called Psychedelic Salad, who's very kindly supporting us through this process. It'll be a vinyl release, a physical release,
which is exciting.
Yeah,
we
didn't have any plans for
Yeah,
that when we started
we definitely-
recording or anything.
definitely
but
didn't think that it was going to be like we're surprised, I suppose, that someone wanted to support us in that way.
I'm very grateful. And basically just play some shows around that. Like we'd love to head to mainland, and connect with music communities everywhere. And also our friends who are scattered
it'd be
throughout
great. It
Australia.
would be so good to tour. Like that's definitely something we would like to do. We'd also really love to be able to tour outside of Australia. I think that it would be a really awesome way to experience and kind of get into where the original bands and artists and makers are within those communities around the world. Right? But the same on the mainland, just being able to connect with those bands and see what they're doing and making friends.
And just have fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
It's like we just want to make friends and have fun and play music. It's pretty, that's not a very rock star attitude, is it? But yeah, so we'll be releasing the EP probably within the first or second quarter of next year. We've got one more single to release that will go out with the EP when it does, which we're pretty excited about. Just playing a bunch of shows and hopefully building a bit more of an audience base so that we can get over and play some more shows in different places. Yeah.
That is so exciting. I am, fingers crossed, manifesting those grants for you all. That next year looks so full already. I haven't even been able to start planning it, but you all have such a great plan, such a great list of hopes and dreams. That is amazing. And finally, this is my favorite question to ask absolutely anyone and everyone. So I'd love to close our interview today by giving you all an opportunity to share the love and shout out some of your favorite acts in both your local scene and the wider Australian music community.
Ooh. I didn't
So-
prepare for wider music. I prepared for Tassie bands. You go.
We saw.
We love all the bands. All the bands in Tasmania are amazing.
We went to
beautiful humans.
Alaska Dry gig the other night,
On
which
the
was
weekend,
fantastic.
She's amazing. Her band's amazing.
Went to a friend's album launch recently, Threats.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Just backing up. I just mentioned two like Ben Funky bands.
Yeah.
So
The Slag Queens.
Black Queens,
as well.
also Spooky Eyes. Really love Spooky Eyes.
Another Launceston band.
Yeah, Launceston band. I love that the singer in that band is called Jude for exactly the reason why you think. And I think that he's also grown into exactly the kind of person that the parents wanted him to be. So yeah, I was like, when I met him the first time, I'd be like, Jude, and tilting my head, and him just being like, it is that reason. And I'm like, that's the best thing I've ever heard.
What is the reason?
From the Beatles song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you didn't explain that.
Oh yeah, no, I just thought it was so obvious.
Great name.
Yeah, great name. And for the rest of Australia,
Forest Hall.
Forest Hall.
Friends band in Sydney.
Really like them.
Yeah.
I know this is like an old band that I probably don't need to shout out, but I feel like people should spend some more time thinking about Love of Diagrams. They're a really great three-piece that were massive. Well, not massive. They were never massive, but or maybe they were massive. I don't actually know. Who else?
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of great bands.
Yeah, is that a good list?
Yes, that very much was. And now we have a new listening, like a new playlist to make with all of those artists. That was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. I was gonna say sometimes you just have to like cull us in, bring us in,
Yes.
Charlie, because we won't know when. Oh.
Well, next time I'll give you ample warning. You can make your list. You can just like show me the photo of the list.
Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, what are your recommendations?
Oh my gosh. Well, one thing that really drew me to your music is there's a Naarm-based duo called Cry Club. I have listened to them for like 5 years now, and when I first heard your song, I'm like, I'm getting Cry Club here. I'm getting the same vibes. So
Really?
Cool.
That's
absolutely love
Thank
them.
Beck Stevens.
Oh, yeah.
Of
Yes.
late, recently, like a couple of years ago now. But yeah, Beck Stevens. We love Beck Stevens, but she's also a childhood friend.
That counts.
Cool.
That counts. Well, yes, I would love to say thank you so much for making time to chat with me. This was an amazing chat. I'm loving Sinking Ships. If you all haven't heard Sinking Ships yet, please go out, stream it on all streaming services, and keep an eye out for the EP. I definitely will be pre-ordering the vinyl when it's announced.
Waiting on the test pressings, and it looks pretty cool from what Psychedelic Salad have whipped up. So we're really excited. Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for having us.
Yes, absolutely. This is Dvrkworld. Make sure you check them out now. I'm Charlie, and thanks for watching the interview.